So the question that was kind of at the on Liz's last slide was if you're not if you're test optional and you're not considering standardized tests, then how do you make the determination? How do you do admissions? And so I think it's important to know that most institutions, even the ones that do require um, standardized tests aren't the main part of that determines your admission. So even for ones that aren't test optional or will be going back to requiring those exams, there are a lot of other factors involved in admission. So I'm going to talk about a couple different kinds of admission review. And so and this is even more important now. With most institutions, certainly during the COVID period, moving towards being test optional, and that which was a trend that was already happening anyway before COVID. A lot of institutions were moving in that direction, or moving at least to be flexible with those exams. So the first kind of review I'm going to talk about is the comprehensive academic review, and so this is again, not taking into consideration standardized tests. What we are taking into consideration is your academic performance from your high school, from your curriculum. And so it's going to take into account your high school transcripts, whatever curriculum you're in. So international admissions offices have people that understand curricula from around the world, and there's a lot of tools that we use to do that and kind of interpret that. So it's going to be based on your schoolwork there, and that's really, at least from my perspective, it's a much better indicator of what kind of college student you're going to be anyway, right? How you did 4 years or 3 years in high school is going to give us a better idea of how you're going to do 4 years in college, rather than a test that you may take once or twice. So it's going to take into consideration your high school work. Fulfilling course requirements. So some majors that you'll go into will have particular requirements. So in order to get into an engineering major at a certain university, you will have had to fulfill these kind of math requirements, and so sometimes that is a factor as well. And so again, we are as international admissions officers, we understand different curricula around the world. That's kind of why sometimes you'll find at universities that have multiple people doing international admissions, we have our own territories, right? And that's to kind of get to know not just the schools and the counselors from there, but also get to know the particular curriculum from that from a particular country. So we don't want you to try and translate the grades to the U.S. grading scale. We want, if you say, oh, here I converted my French back to a GPA. We won't really use that, but some institutions will do their own kind of in-house conversion to a GPA. Some will just go and already have kind of a threshold for especially like an IB curriculum. One thing that's also helpful is providing, helping to provide additional context through a school profile. So, if your school does have a school profile, it would be helpful. Oftentimes it would be your counselor that would submit that to us, but you can certainly, at least for me, speaking for myself, I don't want to speak for everyone. I'll take it in an email if you want to, email me your school profile. Those are really helpful too, to kind of understanding the academic context and where your school places kind of in the overall context of your country.